Hi Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Today is September 4th and it's time for a video. I'm about a week overdue, but a lot has happened and I've been busy, so this is when it worked with my schedule. Hope you're having a good day and that you enjoy the Labor Day weekend if you're from the United States or if you celebrate it abroad. Happy Labor Day to you. I hope you are enjoying the end of summer if you're in the upper hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, I know you're looking forward to spring, right? So I know I'm certainly looking forward to fall. And so I got wishing for some rain in our future. I hope that we get some. We've been crispy dry for a while now. So let's see. Today I'm going to talk about two big things. One, I'm going to talk about the retreat at the attic, which was summer school. I've never been. Lori, textilist, and I went, and we met so many wonderful people. So I'm going to spend some time talking about the retreat. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about giveaways, and I'll talk last about whips and samplers. I've pulled some samplers from my stash to take a look at. It's not going to be a whip parade, but I'm going to gaze upon the things that I know I should be stitching on, and a little bit about plans for the future coming up. So let's start. Now, I'm videoing in front of my sampler wall in the dining room. Oh, let me tell you what happened. Hold on. I'm going to put this down. You might see me dip from side to side from time to time because my table's down there and the kitchen's over there. So if you watched the last video, you heard my husband sawing in the garage. He was laying flooring in the kitchen next door. This has a common wall. So right along here is the dining room is on this side, the kitchen's on the other. And there's an entryway here, and the living room is that way, and there's an entryway that way too. So there's really a bearing wall between the kitchen and the dining room, living room area. So I was in the living room, and my husband he took a few weeks to lay the floor. It took a little while because he was working full time too. He did a great job, but he was also, blackberries are in season, and we lost the marionberry crop this year. The hot weather that we got was like 110, fried most of the marionberries in the Pacific Northwest area. So blackberries are like weeds. I have a friend in Nebraska who was trying to grow blackberries. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. They're so invasive here. It's a battle all the time to get rid of them. So my husband went and picked blackberries out back, and he wanted to make blackberry jelly. And we've made jellies and jams and syrups, and we've canned tuna and all the things, right? So, and he's kind of a homesteader. He wants to be a homesteader at heart. So he goes and collects the blackberries. He makes blackberry jelly. Then he comes to show me. He walks through the store, and we had, when he was working on the floor the first day, he pulled up the linoleum and he used it's like a heat gun with an ice scraper at the bottom, and it's meant to loosen up the adhesive that's left on the floor. And he kind of watched some videos. Should I do that? Should I not do that? He decided to do it. Well, I came out of the room where I was working at, and there was sort of this haze in the house. I was like, oh, heck no. We had moved our tall table in the kitchen. There's a little dinette area with a bar height table and some chairs. We had moved it in here, right here, where I'm sitting. It's sort of cantilevered over the dining room table temporarily while Todd was putting in the flooring. And so I pulled all my samplers off the wall, and I put them on the table, the dining room table, and the kitchen table that was in here, and I covered them with quilts. So anything, because these don't have glass on them. I didn't want corrosion or wear or, come on. So we lived with that for a while until he finished, and he came through here. He was bringing me some of the blackberry jelly to show me. It was in a half pint, and he dropped it. And it hit the floor, and he made a mess. And so he cleaned it up. And then I go, like a couple hours later, I walked through here, and I looked at the wall, and the wall and the ceiling was just sprayed with blackberry jelly. And in the kitchen ceiling also had some. So I told my husband, I said, come see this. And he was working. He's like a little irritated with me, but he finally came and looked, and he's like, oh, and it did clean up just fine. But I said, this was my sampler wall. My samplers would have been covered with blackberry jelly. And I would have had a heart attack. Now I would have just stitched new things, right? Because everything is temporary, honestly. But the blackberry jelly didn't hit my buffet here, which also had a couple of samplers that I hadn't put away. It hit the top of the quilt, but it was a red quilt that I had washed several times. So it washed and everything came out clean. So through all of that, I cannot believe that there was no residual blackberry jelly on any of my stitch stuff. And God was like, completely, I got you covered, right? For sure, because there's just every reason why that should have been such a disaster, but it wasn't, and I couldn't believe it. The kitchen floor looks great. He did a great job. I painted where the baseboards were before he put them on, so now I got to paint the kitchen, which is, I think, the last room in the house that needs to be painted. No, there's one more bedroom that needs to be painted. Anyway, so that's what's been going on. Lori and I met at the attic. We went to the attic when we flew into Arizona on Friday. So the retreat started Friday evening. We flew in, we got there around noon. It was a full flight, very easy flight. We went into the attic and saw, I mean, all the people, right? People are just having a great time. They are throwing money at the cash register as fast as they can. And there's nothing but joy and happiness. We were milling around. We met Lori Wilson from Thread Milk Designs. And so we sat down with Lori. We were chatting with her. And I'm going to insert a little video clip we took while we were at the attic.
We are at the attic. Yay! We met Lori. So I have Lori, and Lisa.
Lori, the L group, yeah.
Yeah,
I got
L
these
to the
girls.
third power.
L went squared.
L tripled. No, cubed. Cubed.
L
Get my math skills in there.
Yeah.
So Lori, what did you pick up today, or what did
I,
you?
Oh, what am I buying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I kitted a few things, but here's the charts.
Okay.
This one, I've been wanting this for a long time. Oh, that's cute. Let me see that cute little roll. Oh, that is adorable. Yeah. Just the little teeny row of flowers right there. Oh, I know. I think her stuff's adorable. I've never seen this. You guys seen this? Somebody showed that recently.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Adorable.
This bird is on a clamp. So like,
What?
I have one of those. Yeah, I do too, and it's empty.
Okay.
There you go. Although this is on an oil can. I have one of those too. You
Okay.
put it on. Oh, but still, that's a cute one. And then I'm kind of into black stuff right now.
We're making all the viewers sick. This is my Zoom. It's my arm. Go get your arm. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I'm kind of dying at all the stuff over one in this store. This one,
Yes.
American history.
Love it.
Got your times tables. And this one.
His math, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, yes, that's beautiful. I love Nan's
I
stuff.
think I've been looking at that one for a couple of years.
A hot minute.
Yeah.
So what else? What else is on your wish list here?
I could spend like 6 hours just looking at everything. That's really what I like. It's just, it's all eye candy. It's all gorgeous. Right? Beautiful.
Yes, and I am.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for spending a few minutes with us. Oh yeah, no, Lori, you show us what you got.
I know, yes. I've been waiting for this to come out. It is Isabella Jackson.
Oh yes, that's gorgeous.
And I'm kitting it up with Weeks Cocoa.
That's scrumptious.
And these are the Bell Spas, and I think I have an Australian silk in here somewhere, but here's what the silks are.
Oh, those are gorgeous.
I love silks. You can just go like this and they just shake right out.
That's right. That's what I look like when I shake my hair out.
Mine doesn't shake
No,
out. And
mine either.
Mine's like and got kitted up in
Yes.
cotton. Oh, that's
Nice.
It was really hard to choose between the silks and the cottons.
Which linen did you get for that?
That's a 36 count vintage sand dune.
Nice.
And I got a piece of Fox and Rabbit Ancient Ruin.
Nice.
And the last thing is Rose Garden.
Oh yeah, that's gorgeous.
So there's a little trunk show over there of Rose Garden. So the original and the reproduction are both there.
We'll have to insert some video footage to show
Yes.
that. We
Yes.
met Wendy. She's a sweetheart.
So what did you get, Lisa?
Well,
I know, where's your pile?
Where is my pile? It's beside you, I think.
Here, yes.
All right, so today, what's in
Notice how she
the
qualifies that
bag?
today.
I got Keziah, what's this called?
Campbell.
Keziah Campbell. And we met Linda from Needle Made Designs. I can't talk. This one I love. This one I've been waiting for. This is Cross Stitch Antiques, and it is Mary Green Ashton School, and this is just gorgeous. And I did get a little bit of linen. So Jean talked me into some 56 count. Sorry, ladies. 56 count Seraphim Dusty Road, and then some thread, some silks, some Tudor silks because it's on 56 count, and a beautiful Gloriana fallen leaves. That's gorgeous. So that's it. Okay, ladies.
All right.
See ya.
They're kicking.
Isn't that fun? I mean, oh my gosh, we had so much fun. I saw Carolyn, Amy, Jean. I'm sure there are more people working at the attic, but they're such tremendous hosts, and we had such a great time. All right, so let's see, what else do we have here? I'm looking at my my list. It might be a longer-ish video, so let's see. So we met, like the first day when we got there, we left the attic and we went to the hotel where the retreat was being held. We went into the room to get, to find a table to sit at, and we met another gal, Cynthia. She was milling around and asked if she could sit with us. And we were absolutely. So she sat with us for a while. And then Wendy Pete Ross from from the Heart Needle Art. Oh my gosh, so many things in my head right now. So from the Heart Needle Art sat with us too. And Cynthia, midway through the weekend, had a family emergency that she had to leave, but Wendy stayed with us, and we hit it off. I mean, you know, when you find stitchers who you're like, that's my tribe. Well, first of all stitchers I feel like are my tribe, but there's some people that you just really connect with, and we gabbed the entire weekend. We saw each other's pictures of our kids. We talked about how Wendy and Lori Wilson started doing design work and their journey, the things that they encountered, the obstacles, the triumphs. It was just so much fun. I'm going to insert, and I took a lot of pictures with people. There were Instagrammers there who I follow their pages, and it was just so great to talk with them. I was completely overwhelmed with the love and generosity and kind words. People kept coming up and talking about how much they enjoyed watching the channel, and that, you know, we looked at each other's things on Instagram, and it was just one person after another. And I couldn't tell you, like, that was so unexpected. I expected some people to know who I was, but just the absolute outpouring of love just filled my soul to the rim and overflowing. So for all the people who came and chatted with me, I am so grateful. You filled my cup, and I really appreciate you. So all my viewers, I appreciate all the people. You guys are the best. So I'll insert some pictures right here. I'm going to try some editing tips, tricks to maybe add a little music. If it doesn't work, or if I come back and it's tomorrow, that means I'm really mad at my editing software. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go ahead and put some clips of some pictures I took and a pan of the room. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do that now.
Here we are, day 2. Summer school. Everybody's getting seated for our next round of kits. I think this is Needle Made Designs. Aren't these adorable?
I mean, I could just hug everybody in that room. I loved meeting everyone. I met Stacy, 911 Stitcher. I saw Brenda from Brenda and the Serial Starter. Who else? Oh gosh, Lorraine from Rags to Stitches USA. I'm sure there's other people. I'll blurt it out during the video as I remember. Other Flosstubers were there too. Okay. I also want to show a few, I think I've got some video or some pictures of the stitched items that were like shown at the end. We put them out the last day on Saturday. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that was the last day. We had a social hour with a charcuterie board and wine, and we chatted, and then we went and saw all of the finished show and tell tables that people wanted to bring. So I think I've got some pictures, and I'll insert those here. I don't remember, though, how much I took. So hopefully I've got some pictures. If not, it's going to be an awkward pause before I come back on. Okay, so let's see. I want to talk about some stitchy kindness that came. I mean, every time I turned around, there was something new on the table, and it was either a gift from the attic or it was a gift from another stitcher. And I mean, it just came, it just felt like every time I turned around, there was something. So this is one of the first things we got. Actually, we got a bag. I'll show you in a minute, but this was in it, the attic needlework. And this might be my favorite thing that I got the whole trip. I love this. This is just a rest that you can put your scissors on, because this is what I do. I have a little scissor holder that my friend Kathy Lounsbury made that I bought. It was amazing. But I tend to just toss my scissors, and I've got scissor jewelry on my scissors, and it can scratch things up. So this is going to save my furniture, and I love, love, love this. On this, we also got this, I call it a gumdrop. It's a needle minder that I just set right in the corner. It's magnetic and you can put your needles on it. We got a macaroon. This is a needle sharpener. So you probably wouldn't use this for a tapestry needle for cross stitch, but you would use it for a sewing needle for other items, for sewing, embroidery, anything where you need to pierce the fabric. So this is, it's kind of squishy. It's like I was playing with this a lot. I put that on my little tray too. And then we got this, and these are all from Jean. So Jean also gave us this really cute little box. And this is a, hold on please. I just wanted to show you the box first before I take it apart, and we'll not be able to get it back together, I'm sure. This is a little scissor keep also. Scissors, I don't know if this might be magnetic to put a needle on, but you could put your scissors in here. And this can also go on my little display. So all the little things, right, that we love, the accessories, the goodies, the fun stuff. Every time I turned around, there was something new. So Lorraine from Rags to Stitches USA, this is Lorraine's card. She made these, it looks like it might be crocheted flowers, and they have a pin on it. So you could, some people were wearing it on their shirt, you could put it on a project bag. There are so many places you could put this, and I love this. It would be great with French General because it's right in that color palette. And so she's so talented, and she made one like for the whole room. So thank you, Lorraine. And I loved meeting you. She has a smile that will light up the room. She's a lovely person. This is from the Floss Queen. This is from Needle in a Haystack, I believe in Alameda, California, the owner of the store there. So this is fun. Happy stitching. It's a wood pen. I know she makes a lot of accessories, or maybe it's a family member that makes them. This is a really nice pen. So thank you very much for that. Then I've got some needle minders here, so they're sticking together. This is from Polly Kalich. Polly gave us these beautiful needle minders. So this was perfect, right? This is the perfect time of year for this. Oh, it's got a little tomato in the back. How cute is that? And she made floss tags. So the floss drops, those were a thing. I don't have mine made, so no. I didn't have any to share, but I'm going to get some made. Lori Textiles, she's ahead of me on that, I think. And then Ray, my friend Ray, hi Ray, met her at Midwest Cross Stitch Retreat. She gave me and everyone a little needle minder that's enjoy a little bling for your stitching, Ray Niles on Instagram. And Ray also shared some floss tags. And this says, strong women, may we know them, come on, Lisa. May we know them, may we raise them, and may we be them. This is a picture of her grandmother. I think it's her grandmother, not her great-grandmother. She is like a mini-me. Ray looks a lot, there's a family resemblance for sure. So that was fun to get that. So I think this was Judy who made this. She brought me a floss tag. And isn't this a beautiful one? So it's a bronzy color and it's a woman holding a rose and it has a little pearl that goes with it. So how sweet is that? That's just such sweetness. Thank you so much. And it came in a sweet little bag, little polka dot bag. Then Wendy from the Heart Needle Art, I don't know what's wrong with me. She made these needle books and she handed them out to us at our table. So look at the little, like a little pocket in there. You could put a little book in there, all kinds of accoutrement, and then just, this would go in a project bag really easily. So sweet, so adorable. Very cute. Wendy's super talented. Right, Wendy? Right. This is from Amy Miss Flossie. She made, okay, so first of all, she made tags. Stay Flossie. Hugs from Amy, aka Mrs. Flossie. How adorable is that? And then she made these. This is the Lori Holt's daughter, I think, makes these. Made the pattern, makes these. I love this color. And it's a little less pink. I think this is 3722 DMC. It's very pink on your screen, but it's not quite as pink in person. It's, but man, like how long does it take you to make these? These seem like they're very complex. So Amy, first of all, Amy's a tall girl like me, and so is Carolyn. So we were 3 peas in a pod, really. But Amy, I just love her, and thank you, Amy. This is really very sweet and special. So I do want to say something real quick about shenanigans that happen at retreats. International coffee. This is like double chocolate. You know, the powdery stuff that your mom bought in the 70s. It's good stuff. So after people went to bed, which, you know, we have at retreats, you have morning people, you have evening people. Well, when most of the people had gone to bed, this is what happened.
Good. Turn to the right.
To the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left.
I stitch like a dance. I'm walking down the step.
Woo, the cross stitch hustle.
And that's it.
Woo! To the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the left. Woo!
Yeah, you have how long is this song? I'm tired.
I told them I was putting it in my next video. So, they're so funny. I just got a crack of people that are just willing to let their hair down. And if I hadn't been videotaping it, I'd be in there with them. Jean gave us so many gifts. You know, I showed you the scissor holder, the needle sharpener, the 2 scissor holders, and then the needle miter. So she also gave us scissors, and they came in this beautiful little package. Isn't this gorgeous? Now these are, I'm not sure, these are black Teflon, made in Italy. These are the scissors. Aren't those pretty? Super sharp. And then she gave us a fob. I got a hair hanging in my mouth, sorry. She gave us a fob to go on those scissors. Very adorable. And then this is I think you could lace a ribbon on it. You can stitch it down. But this all came in a sweet little black bag too. So that was a gift from Jean. And it all came in this great bag, this attic needlework bag. And she gifted us this Nan Lewis Threadwork Primitives pillow. And it says, "My treasures where I had such friends." So Jean stitched this, of course, on 56 count, and she even stitched it over 1 on the bottom. She had a conversion made by the designer that says attic needlework. I think it says Schoolhouse 2021 or something like that. So she gifted us that conversion too, but this is gorgeous. And of course she talked me into it. So some of my haul, I'll show you the 56 count that I bought. Let's see. So let's talk about the stitch pieces. I'm going to just take a second and move some things around on my table. I'll be right back.
Nancy's initials are any M.
I love everything on this table. Wait, see that? I saw it. It's gorgeous.
Can I put my finger in your video?
Oh my gosh, that's adorable. That is phenomenally gorgeous. Helen Murray, age 1822.
Then you need to go look at the table next to it.
Okay. Oh my gosh. But this, ooh, gorgeous.
So that works pretty good. Yes. It's standing there.
I was just there, I know.
Look at this guy. How hilarious is he? This couple.
Unfortunately.
I love it. I really like that.
I love it.
Now there were a couple of Lindas as designers, and I have not been to a retreat with them before. So I was trying to remember which Linda was which Linda, because I could see there's a taller one and a shorter one. And they bring their own skills and personalities, and everybody's different. So that's the joy of having multiple designers at a retreat. I haven't been to a retreat where there have been, no, I take that back. Dine to Stitch had Blackbird Designs, and Linda Stoltz from Erica Michaels was at that retreat as well. So this is the one. This one though had 5 people, 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And so the retreat costs a little more because you're getting 5 kits, you know what I mean? And it's worth every single penny. It was well worth the investment. And I say it as an investment because I work really hard for my pay, and I love this craft so much. This is what I do, right? So other than hanging with my family and my husband, we camp some, and we'd like to travel. But right now we're so busy. That'll cool down. Well, no, I take that back. It won't cool down. It'll change. How we're busy will be a little bit different. Anyway, I'm rambling. So the first designer who gifted us some beautiful pieces is Samplers Remembered by Linda Danielson. to get the right Linda. Literally, I had to write everything down because there's so many people. Now look at this. I absolutely fell in love with this, and you would have seen this on a video clip. So this is just really a closer up version of what I've already shown you through the videos. Actually, have I shown it to you? If I haven't put the clip in, I'll put it in at the end of this segment. But this is Samplers Remembered. This is called ER 1821 Antique Sampler Reproduction. It's beautiful. It came in this box, this sweet little box, which was wrapped with ribbon and a tag. And inside was another tag with a needle, a needle rest, or a place you could put your needle. And she had beautiful threads. These are all Weeks Dye Works. There's one that didn't take quite as much, so they didn't put a whole skein in. Beautiful color palette. It is, I think this is Confederate Gray. And you know, I'm trying to whip down this year. I decided, well, I did start one. This is my huge start. Now this is going to go pretty quickly. Oops, I'm showing you the back. I'll show you the front. How's that? This should go pretty quickly because it's not a big piece. It's pretty smaller. The colors, they got me. This is a Lisa sampler for sure. I loved it. So that was Linda Danielson from Samplers Remembered. She was our first designer. I think our second one, sorry for moving to the side here, was Vicki and Megan Jeanette from Needlework Designs. And Needlework Press, sorry. They gifted us Elsie Curtis. Home Sweet Home. Isn't that sweet? Now look at those people. They're hilarious. That's what I look like at the pandemic. You know, my pandemic diet has done that to me. I was good when I started and then it just went downhill. So she included the fabric and Valdanis. So I have not stitched with Valdanis on a skein before. I think that's very fascinating to me. And I'm interested to see how this stitches up. So this one will be a fun one to stitch. So Vicki also had talked about, and Megan also contributed. I don't want you to say that, I don't want you to think that it was only Vicki, because Megan and her daughter were there. So we have these little needle books printed on paper. So you can make this on a double-sided cardstock too, or a scrapbook paper and make your own. These are, you cut them out here and then make a slit here and you fold it on the sides, and it folds into a needle book. And this is the inside of this one and the inside of that one. Then once you make the inside, once you make these, she gave us some twill tape that you can cut into any design you want. You can stitch it down, you can glue it down on the inside of this little book here. So as you open it up, you have a place to put your needles. So craftiness at the Attic Summer School. The next was Tanya Brockmeyer from the Scarlet House. It was great. I met her, I think it was eating one meal, and just chatted with her. And then at the end, I said, hey, we haven't formally met, but we kind of had met, right? But we hadn't formally met. And I really like her stuff. So Tanya, it was interesting. I was talking with her and asked her if she felt like she had a color palette, because one of the designs, when she talked about it with us, she said this is a little bit of a departure from her normal color palette. And she said that she has a background in graphic design. So she does stitch a lot of her things with black, red, and white, which has high contrast. And she really likes that. That attracts her because of that graphic element. So this one that she gifted us, this one is Marianne Smith, 1835. It doesn't have any black in it. And it was a little different for her, she said. But let me tell you how stunning this is. It is gorgeous. I loved this. I'm not sure if I got a picture of this one finished. I think I did. And she also gave us a small that is Summer School. This is so fun. Loved it. When you finish it, there are a couple of pieces of ephemera that you can glue on the inside. This is not a roll of toilet paper. That's a JP Coates roll of thread. I realize when I look at this, I'm like, oh, that is not a COVID piece of ephemera. You know, we're all rushing around trying to find that. I've got my box. I put some little wooden spools in there and it fits pretty good. So I think I'll just keep those in there. And then here are the pieces of ephemera that you can just Mod Podge in the inside of your box. And once you finish this stitched piece, you just mount it on top of the box. So I've got some ideas of what I'm going to do with this. All of the threads for this, she put the 103s on like a piece of cording. I was wearing it as a necklace. I'm sure you can. I could wear it as a crown too if you wanted to. You never know what's going to happen in this video. Anyway, so these are wonderful to stitch with. I hadn't stitched with them before. I have another one that I'm using on another design that I'll show you. But my understanding is this is often how girls would have controlled their spools, as they would have put it on a cord or a rope or something. May have put it around their neck, may have just put it somewhere close to them. So that was interesting. And that was Tanya's. And then we had, hold on just a second here, I'm leaning. We had, in fact, I'm going to lean again. My squeaky chair, sorry. We had Linda Vincent. So Linda was a super creative person. She likes, I can tell she likes paper and ephemera. You did see some of the things that she made. She gifted us an incredible sampler. This is Helen Murray, 1822 Scottish sampler. This was, I mean, yummy, delicious. I loved it. This was amazing. And she also gifted us this pin cushion with the finishing items, and including there's like a measuring tape trim that goes around the outside. It's a mattress finish, so it's a square, it's a rectangle, but it's got depth to it. And she taught us she walked us through how to finish it, and she gave us finishing instructions. The bottom is Dupioni silk, and the top is the linen. And then let's see, what else did she put in here? So she showed us a finish. Or I'm not sure if she put this inside. Okay, so I'm getting all my things mixed up here. She used a cigar box, and she went to the local cigar shop, and she wanted to have everyone choose a cigar box that they liked. And she showed us how to make little boxes and use a cigar box to put this mattress pin cushion in it and put ephemera on the inside. So she used like sort of I would call it like holly berry. That's the color from Gentle Arts of the paper that she used. And she used stuff that had like polka dots on it. It was very interesting. And she showed us how to make the little boxes that drop in a cigar box. So you can have this pin cushion and these little boxes, and they are sort of like little containers that you can put goodies in. And she also had on the inside of her cigar box like scrapbook paper, and she used ephemera to decorate it. So I'm just going to show you. I was out and about gabbing when they were handing these out, and she had to buy 125 of them. So she had to make 2 trips to the cigar company, the cigar shop, because of course they sell cigars, and then they have these great boxes, and they have lots of them. This is the one that Lori picked for me. Lori texted us. We have an identical one. I know exactly what I'm going to do with this. So this one has this great graphic on the inside, although I think I might cover that up. And it has little individual compartments for the cigars. So this is a very swanky box, right? The cigars are so important that they have their own little cubby. So this is, it's got this cute little black latch on the front. And I'll probably take this off, but we might reuse that in some sort of a junk journaling project. And then she also gifted us some great things. So you can pick up some scrapbook paper. I have a lot of scrapbook paper because in my prior life I was a scrapbooker. I stopped at one point, but I'm going to continue in retirement. But I found some that I cut into quarters because they fit in one of my boxes better that way. And then she also, like, we could pick little pieces of ephemera. Like I picked a bouquet of flowers and another flower and a couple of like little library cards and a couple of funny women. They look like they're from the suffragette era. So those things I'll use in the finishing on mine, but I really pretty much have figured out, in my mind, I've worked out how I'm going to finish this. So what if that's the kind of stuff that makes my brain go, because you can be as creative as you want to be. And I really love that. So that was Needle Made Designs, Linda Vincent. So she's also fine. She's also a tall girl, and she says she's the queen of the one-liners. So she told us some great stories, and she has a granddaughter who's also the queen of the one-liners. And what was she making her do? I can't remember. There was something that I'm not going to retell because I'm not going to do it justice. Anyway, so I'm going to just step away for a second here and grab my last designer project. Hold, please. I'm back. So on Sunday morning, we had 5 Times Blessed, who is 5 Times Blessed, Nancy Mills. And Nancy is super talented, also a tall girl. Nancy has 5 kids, and that was the genesis of her name, 5 Times Blessed, I believe. Nancy's, what she makes is a lot of the stitching accessories. It's the necklace, bracelet, earrings, purse, shoes of cross stitch. And she also made, I'm not sure if this is her very first design, but she made a design for us. And it's the one that I worked on because it was pretty simple. I'm going to show you what happened with my whip that I brought down there. How much progress I made when we get to that part of the video. But I want to just show you the sweet, fun thing that she brought us. And that is Home is Best. And it's really a floss keep. So we were gifted the whole kit, and it is this fabric, which I believe is I don't know what it is, but it's a darker, and I think it's a Zweigart. It's not a hand dye, which is, I love the way the black shows up on it. This little charm is a pineapple, which is a symbol for welcome, right? And then you add all these little floss rings at the bottom, and there's one at the top with the bow, and the back you lace it and put a piece of felt on it. So this one I could handle. And that's what happens when you're at a cross stitch retreat. All the things are very distracting. I was able to get this far on it. Ignore my thread, I just pulled it up from the back. I believe what I have left is this door and the windows, and then I sew the charm on and finish it. So this is so something you can do and not be too, I mean, you gotta still count, but it's pretty simple. You can adjust it if you make a mistake pretty easily. In her group, on her kit came this cute little pair of scissors. Actually, I'm gonna pull these out. Aren't those sweet? They're very, I don't know, they're just super pretty the way they're carved or formed, designed. So we got those. Those I think are Kelmscott. I can't get this back in. Yes, they're Kelmscott scissors. And then there's a little baggie of goodies, including 2 little clamps that she put washi tape on, which is great. And some buttons, your rings, your bow. She made the bow, which is great because, I'm just going to be honest, I don't like making bows. It came in this pouch with this little summer school needlework, summer school 2021, the attic needlework. I can't talk. Words are hard. So this was cute. And there's finishing supplies in this bag. And it came with the 103 Belsoir. I'm sorry, Versoir. It almost feels like a cotton. I've never used this before, but it almost feels like a cotton thread, but it's a silk. Now, Nancy put up a pop-up shop, and it was sort of like I've never been to Barney's, but just imagine Barney's wedding dress sale or day after Thanksgiving sale. It was you had to get in there and look, and she was trying to take stuff off out of the box. She was kind of laughing nervously like she was being swarmed by people, but y'all know the FOMO is real even at a retreat. So I picked up, and I was trying to be good at my spending, so I did pretty well. This cute little pumpkin, and so she made this. It's got a little charm at the top, a couple of, are these pins? Or no, I think they're just little berries, and the sweet little top of the pumpkin. So that was cute. I did pick up this rusty pin, which would be great to just put in like my cigar box maybe, or on a display. It has lace and old buttons on it. And then this might be my favorite thing I picked up at the trip. This is the same image that she had on her bag, only it's like you could either make this an ornament, you could string like something through here to hang on a tree or on your wall, or you can make a necklace out of it. You can do anything with it. On the back, she has larkspur and some sort of font on the back. It talks about larkspur. Anyway, so I loved that a lot. I know that Lori got one of those too. And then Access Commodities was there, Lamora. I don't know her last name, but she was super interesting. She gave a sort of a lecture during, was it lunchtime? It was after lunch. Sorry, she knows. And she talked about how linen is made and how the process of using and making linen. So it was really interesting. I wasn't able to watch the whole thing, but I was there for part of it. She gifted us some fabric, and there's a 20 count seawater black, which is kind of interests me. And there's a 40 count Piccadilly white. And she gave us a London linen blue bonnet. What is this thread? It's a spool of thread. I'm sure she told us, but I was overstimulated at that point. Blue bonnet. London airy linen. I don't know. She has such a passion around using high quality, fine needlework supplies. She was stitching, and I think she's been doing this for maybe since the 90s. She's Access Commodities, and she was definitely shared her love and passion of needlework with us. So that was fun. She gave us a little sampler, not a heart sampler. There is no picture. That's it. So, and it goes on into the inside as well. It's a pretty long band sampler. Came in a nice bag. I do like these bags. They're super easy to use. All right, so let me talk a little bit about, I'm trying to shuffle stuff around here, about some haul from the attic and some haul from outside the attic. I'm going to move some things around just a minute. There goes my thread. Did you hear that? Sorry about that. First, I'm going to talk about the attic haul. Okay. Good thing we're all friends here, right? You don't mind that I move around and just trying to do the best I can. So I showed you the picture of the small that was gifted to us by Jean. Now, let me just say, Jean is a saleswoman, and she is the poster child for what you can do, right? So the limitations we put on ourselves as people, as stitchers, we do it to ourselves because there are certainly many things that can be done to help us be successful to do the things we want to do. If I said, I can't see 56 count, Lee won't take that for an answer. I mean, Jean won't take that for an answer. Sorry. Jean will tell you can do it. Jean will say it takes a while to get adjusted to it. She'll suggest the cheaters you can wear. She'll talk about the magnifiers you can use. Jean is certainly an icon. That's how I see Jean Lee. She is an icon. She is everything that is good in cross stitch. Her legacy will be deep for generations to come. She has had a strong influence in the resurgence of cross stitch and the advocacy of samplers. So I enjoyed giving her a hug. I enjoyed talking with her. It was a highlight of the trip. So Jean persuaded me to buy, and it was an easy sell. Let me tell you, I went willingly down this path. Some Seraphin Dusty Road, and it's 56 count. And the little pillow that she stitched, I'm going to stitch because I can. She told me I can. I bought not exactly the same Tudor silks, but some of the same. Isn't that gorgeous? Bluegrass. Ooh. So this was my jumping off point, and I bought, to go with it, blue spruce, Sumatra. That's a pretty color. Ooh. Hazelnut dark. It's a rich color. And Federal blue. Because I was just, over at the wall gazing, I also bought Cotswold Garden. I'll use that in something. And then this one, Fall Foliage, Moricinos. Isn't that gorgeous? And I like that so much that I bought the regular Gloriana silk. And I have an idea of how to use this. More to come. That was day one, and actually on that day, the first stitching day, I also bought 2 charts. That was on Friday when we got in, our first trip to the attic. I bought, what's this called? Keziah Campbell. I was talking with Carolyn, and I said, Carolyn, I couldn't get, for some reason, my 1, 2, 3 stitch wish list, 1, 2, 3 stitch wish list wouldn't come up on my phone. So I did this. I'm like, Carolyn, I'm looking for a Scottish sampler, but it's not a reproduction, and it has some name like Hezekiah or something weird. I can't remember who did it. And she looked at me and she goes, oh my God, you're one of those people. One of those people who knows you're trying to describe what you want, but you know what it looks like, but you just have no idea what you're asking for. I was like, yeah, I am one of those customers. So I went shopping because I said, I'll just look around. I'm sure it'll come to me. I'll find out if I can get my wish list to come up. And so I had been shopping a little bit, and Carolyn comes over. She goes, Lisa, Jean knows which one you're talking about. So Jean can speak my language, right? When I don't know what I'm trying to say, Jean understands. She goes, oh, when she heard it was not a reproduction, but it was a Scottish sampler, she knew right away it was Needle Made Designs, Keziah Campbell. This is a made-up sampler by Linda. But the colors on this was stitched and on the wall at the attic, and it is gorgeous. I love it. The other one I bought was Kathleen Littleton from Cross Stitch Antiques was attended as an attendee, and her designs are gorgeous. I saw this and I knew I had to have this, and in fact I would love to start this one. I don't know if I'll get to it this year, but this is just screams my name. This one is called Mary Green Ashton School 1846. So those are the 2. I did pretty good the first day, and I was going to try to be good. That didn't last. When we went back on Sunday, after we were done with the retreat, we were kind of looking around, and I knew that I looked at the red sampler section, the Bristol samplers. There's a table, and then there's a table with Wendy from the Needle Art, and I think everybody at the retreat bought this. It is so beautiful, and the stitched piece, I'm going to insert some pictures of the shop after this little segment, and you'll see this. It's just, Wendy, this is stunning. Absolutely stunning. I loved meeting her. She's a kindred spirit for sure. I also, thank you. I think Laura showed this from Laura, Brenda the Serial Starter. This is the Little House Needleworks. October gave a party. The leaves by hundreds came. The chestnuts, oaks, and maples, and leaves of every name. The sunshine spread a carpet, and everything was grand. Miss Weather let the dancing, Professor Wind the band. Now, this would go quickly. Wouldn't this be fun to have for Thanksgiving? Wouldn't this be fun to have it done and finished and in your tiered tray on your dining room table? Or just however finished, right? Priscillified or put in a frame and just in a little nook, and people would stop and look at it and read it, and they'd be like, oh, that's super cool. And it came as a kit, so I for sure got that. I forgot that I wanted it until Sunday when I was at the shop. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that I wanted to get that. And the Bristol samplers, I was sort of lollygagging around there and thinking, I really want one of these. I don't need it, but I want it because, you know, that's how we live our lives anymore. Just the wants of life. I ended up with Dutch Treat Samplers by Claudia Dutcher. This is Emma Sanford, 1867. You may have already seen this one stitched up. I'm sure she came and did a presentation in June, I believe, and did a little class, and this might be the one that she talked about. So I was kind of looking to see what she used, and I think she had a couple of reds recommended on this, but I wanted to find a reason to pick up some more 46 count straw. And then I've got cranberry from Gloriana. Look at the colors. Oh my stars, look at those colors. It's the color of my shirt. This is going to be so pretty, so rich and so pretty. I might just have to start that. I'm not sure. Then I was shopping in the aisle on the way up to the register. Point of purchase, I'm like the kid who wants a candy that's on the way out the door. I bought Marjorie Massey Nature Quaker. Isn't that great? I think this is one that probably will look prettier in person than might be even on this pattern. Plus, this would be beautiful on silks too. Oh, itchy nose. All right, so that is my haul. We are at the attic looking at the sampler wall.
I started to get it yesterday. Yeah, we'll go nanny. We got one that way.
So many models here.
I had looked down and there was you. You are great. Okay. There we go. We're in her videos.
All right, you want to say hi?
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Hello, Flosstube. All the gorgeous things.
Okay, if you do, get in the cutting line or whatever.
I picked up off of eBay the Blackbird Christmas Memories. This is a 4-part to make a quilt, to make this quilt. I couldn't believe that was a reasonable price, but now I couldn't buy it fast enough. So I bought this. Lori and I talked about making this quilt. This is on sale right now, Primitive Quilts. And this has more than this, right? So if you like wool applique, this has several. My rule of buying magazines is pretty much I have to have at least 2 things that I want to make in the magazine to buy it. So let me show you the 2 things that blew my socks off. First of all, this. How stinking adorable is that? And then this. Now, I told y'all that I wasn't into primitives, but sometimes I might be. Oops, I won't show you the pattern. Is that not adorable? There are some quilts in here that are beautiful as well. I just want to show you those 2 things and say if you don't have that one, it might be worth getting. I picked up a little 2-tiered tray. Isn't this sweet? Lori and I were out shopping at one of our favorite stores. This, couldn't you see like this being on a dresser with a couple smalls in there? There's so much you can do with this. This would be pretty at Easter. Could be pretty in a bathroom in a corner. Put a couple little towels, some soaps, and a stitch piece. Anyway, I've got plans there. We also bought these. Okay, we found these at a gift store. Look at this. It's buttons. And it has this velvety ribbon on it. And it came in 3 sizes. This is the medium and the small. How cute are these? They're not as big as, there we go. This will probably be my screenshot for YouTube. So we picked up those. They were very reasonable. And candles, because it feels like it's going to be fall. So like gingerbread, what is this one? Pumpkin crumb cake and caramel corn. We were sniff testing candles in the store. It was like, you know, through our masks, which didn't work very well, but there might have been a little cheating going on. We might have like lifted that up and smelled the candles. Like junkies. And then what happened to my, maybe I took it off. I bought this little tray. It's a chalkboarded, it must be a Blackbird that you can write on. And it had, I must have taken it off. It had like a jute hanger, which maybe I didn't like. It was probably too rustic. This would be cute, just a small finished in there. That's it for haul. That's it. Some thank you notes, some thank yous for people who won the last giveaway, from people who won the last giveaway. This is Margaret Yoder. Isn't that a pretty card? I love those colors. And she sent some floss tags. Equal rights for others does not mean fewer rights for you. It's not pie. Margaret, I love this. Thank you very much. Love it. And a sweet little card from Charlotte. Thank you, Charlotte. And a thank you from Kathleen. I ripped right through Katie. Oh, this is for something else. Never mind. Wrong person. This one is from Lori Shickleon from Once Upon a Stitch. She won one of my giveaways. That's sweet. And she sent a little dinky dice with it. Thanks, Lori. Appreciate that. I feel like I'm out of practice. All right. I have, I don't know where it is. This is from 2 videos ago. This is the only one of the 10 giveaway items that weren't claimed. Kate Allegard, you were the winner. If you don't claim this on this, if you don't let me know by emailing me below, I'm going to have to redraw for the next and announce in the next video the winner for this. And the winner of, where did I put it? The Drawn Thread 12 House sampler, I had it partway stitched, was Home Sweet Home Handmade Natalie. And I think, Natalie, I might have shouted you out. I think you have a channel that I shouted you out. So I will comment on your video, on your comment, but congratulations on winning that. Now I have some giveaways for this video also. We haven't gotten, see, we're an hour and we haven't even gotten into whips yet. The first one is Homespun Elegance, Be Joyous. If you would like this, I'll give this away in the next video. That just write Joyous, Joyous. And this one is a scripture sampler, John 3:16 by Chen Designs. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. If you would like this one, please write scripture. The Ann Powell Heirloom Stitchery. Isn't that pretty? This one says, do you wish to be happy? Then this is the way, to be always in earnest at work and at play, and thus each in its turn to enjoy. Only try, and I'm sure you'll find it's true that you must be quite happy with plenty to do, whatever may be your employ. If you would like this one, please write Anne with an E, A-N-N-E, in your comment. And the last one is the American Sampler. I bought this one, I can't remember. I don't know when I bought this one, but I have another couple that look very similar to this, so I'm feeling like I'm probably not going to stitch this one. Well, plus I'm going to give it away, so I'm probably not going to stitch it. This is the American Sampler, and it is by Barbara and Cheryl. If you'd like this one, please write American. Those are the giveaways this time. Good luck coming up with some sort of a funny little paragraph about all those words together. We'll see how creative you get on it. I'm going to pause again because it's time to bring out the whips, the FFOs, and we're going to talk about samplers because it is Sampler September after all. All right. So I have 3 FFOs and I had them the last time I made a video, but I forgot to show them to you. So these were framed by the beautiful Patty Nicolosi. She is active in the Prim Stitch Society page, and you can find her on Facebook. I will put her name below here. I'll also put her name in the drop-down box below. But I reached out to her through Facebook Messenger. She's super easy to work with. She provides options for stitching. You mail it to her. She gives you some ideas. And I've used her a couple times now. I'm really happy with all the quality of work she did. So this one is Always Remember by Plum Street, and Patty framed this one. She gave me a couple of options. I was looking at a frame that was the same or similar as what's on the cover of the design. But when she showed this, I couldn't say yes fast enough. This has sort of a distressed look to it, and it has a red over sort of an undertone to it. And it perfectly picks up the colors in this sampler. So I'm super happy with that. Next is Justice for All by Blackbird. I gave the pattern away in a previous video, and I like the simplicity of this particular frame. It goes very well with this particular design. The design is abbreviated. So in the leaflet, there is the alphabet up above, and obviously I changed this, right? Because it was a different year. I think I changed the format of this too. It looks different. I brought an element that was in the alphabet down and filled this in, and I just made it a smaller version. So really happy with this. I like the way it turned out. Should be great with my patriotic stuff come next spring. And then the last one is Hannah Wallace by With Thy Needle and Thread. I couldn't remember. And I really love this particular frame. I like the way that Patty described it. She says very feminine. And it is. It just brings up the sweetness of this pattern. You can see the little bit of design element on the side, sort of that carvings here, and then the brown is a great complement to the stitched piece. So Patty, I'm not sure if you watch my videos, but I love the way this turned out, and I swooned when they came out. It was like Christmas. All right, so now I want to talk a little bit about whips. Finally, right? You're like, geez, it's taking forever. I thought I took these out. Maybe I did not. Anyway, the first one is Hoity Toity. This is I'm on a rotation between what I call a blonde and a brunette rotation. I have one that's a darker palette and one that's a lighter palette. I stitch a week on each. I go back and forth between them from week to week. I have made significant progress on this year. In fact, I would say this whole section I had stitched, when I picked it up this year, I stitched to there. So now this is the bottom corner of the piece. And even since the last time, the berry bowls weren't there last time, and the sides next to the berry bowls, the crazy squirrels that are hilarious, running up and down the berry baskets weren't there, and that little house in the middle wasn't there. So you think, oh gosh, you're so close to being done. There's at least 5,000 stitches left in this. So close, but not close. But I did date this for 2021, and I will finish it this year. I'm really making tremendous progress on it. This one had, I had several people come up to me at the attic needlework. I took it. I was going to work on it. I didn't pull it out. Somebody asked to see it, and then Jean came by and she says, "You're going to put that out on the table, aren't you?" And I said, "But it's not done." She said, "I don't care. You put it out." So Jean says, "You put it out. You put it out." And I had a lot of people ask questions about it. One of the biggest questions I get is, "Can I have your conversion?" And this is the DMC threads. It's not a conversion. The S in the middle band, well, I chose a different color. I think the charted color is like a gray, and it just didn't speak to me, so I changed it and put that pink in there. This is, I want to say this is probably, and it's blown out a little bit. It's a little bit darker in real life. There you go. It's probably Parchment by Weeks, or it is Pecan Butter by Lakeside. I think it's probably Parchment by Weeks. But I just love this. The colors on that are incredible. Oh, I got my arm workout for the day. Holding that up for a minute. Now, so what am I working on the off weeks when I'm not working on that? Now that I've finished the Patriot Sampler, which I showed you in the last video, I picked up Garden Club Series. This is a Blackbird, and it's a series of charts. I had stitched the bottom row, and now I have added the middle row since the last time I videoed. I hadn't worked on it. So these go pretty quick. I'm just going to say they're not difficult. Sorry, it's kind of blowing out back and forth here. Let me see if I can turn this light off, if it'll make a difference. Yeah, so it is what it is. You guys can see it's still doing the light blurry thing. So the colors on this are fantastic. I'm using the Call for Colors in a lot of it. Sorry, turn that back on. The Call for Colors in a lot of it, but I did switch some things. Like around this flower and this flower was Lexington green, which is sort of a yellowish green and did not show up at all on this fabric. And wherever I see something and I don't care for the color on this fabric, I want to change it, I do. So I'm stitching this, right now I'm in the middle of stitching this butterfly, and I did a satin stitch on his body, and it's so cute. I put a little L on the bottom of this one right here. It was a B for Barb, because Barb Adams did design it. And in some places I made some minor changes, but it's not substantial. I don't remember which colors I picked, honestly. I'm not that great at keeping track of that stuff unless I decide at the very beginning I'm going to do so. Those are the two whips I'm working on. And, this one also is dated 2021, which I did not realize I had done on that bottom band. Where is it dated? Oh, right here. 2021. I had worked on this at Lori's house, and I think I started it while I was there. And I decided that I was going to date it, which usually is a kiss of death for me, but I guess not. I guess I'm just going to keep working on that and get it done this year. Should have no problem with that. Now, besides the squeaky chair here, sorry about that, I did pull out some samplers because it's Sampler September. And if you're stitching reproductions, I think it's Sampler September Soiree. And if you're stitching any sampler, it's just Sampler September. Check out the hashtags on Instagram. I'm not sure. The first one, and I didn't pull all of my samplers out of my stash. I just thought I would pull some that are works in progress where I have some progress. Some I have more than others. I have some that I have hardly any progress on. So as I think through my WIP pile and what I'm going to work on sometimes it feels like it's a new start because I really don't have much work done on them. Anyway, so the first one I want to show you is Susanna Milne or Milne, 1843, By Hands Across the Sea. I am stitching this on 40 count, and I think it's a Zweigart fabric. I don't know that it's a Lakeside. It's like powder pink. It's a little pinkier in real life. These on the outers, this border, which is a lot of fun to stitch, is actually the write-up says that the girl who stitched this came from an area that grew a lot of hops for beer, and she thinks that these flowers might be hops flowers, which could be the case. I really liked working on this, and you can just cruise. The border was pretty consistent, I believe. But that one, when I pulled that out, I was like, why am I not stitching on this? Well, I love it. I will be stitching on it at some point. Maybe that one, I have to decide once I'm done with Garden Club, what's next. So I pull out, I do love that I made that spreadsheet, the Excel sheet with the whips, because I do pull that up and dream. I think, okay, which one is after this? Which one is next on the agenda? And what can I get done this year? And what should I try to focus on? That's what we do with our spare time, right? Susan Rambo, 1839 by Crosspoint Designs. I would say the Michelle from the Striped Rose was a strong influencer in me starting this. And I was going like bandits, and then I put it down because, you know, squirrels. This is stitched on 40 count fresco by Picture This Plus. And isn't that beautiful? Look at the colors in that. This is a very strong contender for following Garden Club series as a blonde in my rotation. The colors are just fantastic. I love it. And so fresco, I don't know if you can see the coloration. You can kind of see it has a hint of green. It's sort of a dirty looking fabric, a hint of red, a hint of blue, but just very little bit. And it doesn't look too dirty, but it does have a little bit of color behind it. One of my very favorite fabrics. And it's warm too, it's a warm color. A contender for the brunette, the first runner-up, is Hannah Sanderson. Kyle from Stitching and Sound this is his first sampler that he finished, and he has it framed and on the wall at home. So I loved this one. It was in a cross stitch magazine in the 90s, and then Claudia Dutcher had it reproduced 2 colorways, the light and the dark, and I chose the dark. This is probably on, maybe this is 40 count sand dune. I went right to the middle and right for that beautiful butterfly. What I've decided though with this one is that I likely will not stitch this. I'm going to probably find a terminus here and stitch across with the border, find a way to drop this down. I know it's cheating, but there's no cross stitch police. Isn't that gorgeous? This one might be the one that I pick up after I'm done with Hoity Toity. It's on the short list. The next one, the next one is, I hope Kathleen doesn't watch this. The Innocent Sampler, which is such a beautiful sampler. I was, I don't know what I was doing. I was drinking red wine and it was next to my stitching, and I spilled it. Yep, and it got wine on a couple of pieces. One of them is this one, and I'll show you in a minute what she looks like. This is the Merlot dyed Innocent Sampler. Is she so pretty? Now you can't see, I immediately dumped it in water. I immediately, oh, there's a little bit on the bottom here. This one didn't get drenched all the way, but you can maybe see right, for crying out loud. At the very bottom, you can see a little shadow of Merlot underneath this piece here. It's like right here. I think it'll just be, once I finish it and I frame it, you probably aren't going to see it. And if you do, it's just going to look like, you know, the fabric, honestly. I want to say this is 40 count vintage fawn by Lakeside. And I also want to say that this might be DMC. It might not. Oh, it is DMC. It is. Kathleen Littleton has a fantastic eye. I do like her designs a lot. So she's very interesting. She has 14 kids. Ooh. I have 4 kids. She had 10 more. Like I just died when I had the 4th one. Not really, but I was, you know, I always say my husband wanted 2 and I wanted 3, so we compromised and have 4. Gathering pine cones, hillside samplings. This one is full of specialty stitches. Okay, I want to say something. So Sue and Rachel from Flosstube, I was watching their video this morning while I was getting prepared to do my video, and they talked about this. There's really nothing to be afraid of when doing the specialty stitches. There's some that you're going to love, there's some that you're not going to love, but if you follow the graph, you'll be fine. This I have done everything but the specialty stitches, and I just need to pull it up and work on it. Isn't that, well, I've got sand stitch, I guess, done on it. These are all pine cones, different specialty stitches with different types of pine cones. And I've got the button that goes in the middle. So that one could be on, that could be my redhead. So my redhead is the one that isn't in my regular rotation, but she pops her head in every once in a while. And if I have a goal, if I'm working on a project, I'm feeling a little burnt out and they're on my blonde brunette rotation, sometimes I just make a small goal for the week and I stitch on something completely different to sort of cleanse the palette, right? To get back into, make some progress on something else, but also to give my brain a rest on that particular project, because we don't want stitching to be a chore. No way. All right, and the last one I want to share with you is Come Into My Garden. I've got something on there. Come Into My Garden by Blackbird. This one is the one from Country Sampler, and I didn't go to that retreat, but Barb had stitched this, didn't have it done, and just took a picture of it as far as she had gotten on it. And this came with the 40 count velvet. People don't really like it. I do. It's sort of very gardenish, right? Very rich, and it's very green and gold and a little bit splotchy, and I really do like it a lot. The colors on this are phenomenal. Haven't gotten very far on that one. That might be a 2022 focus. So what's coming up? Those are all the samplers I have. Lori's coming up Tuesday. I have next week off. She's coming up Monday. We're going to meet with some friends on Tuesday, do a little shopping. And then Wednesday, we fly to Kansas City for the Quilters Connection retreat. And that has Beth Twist, Liz Matthews, Alma from Blackbird, and Chessie and me. Is that also a Linda? I think she is. I love her designs. And then we're going to do some shopping and meet with some friends. And so I have to I have to work my regular job like crazy and get ready so that we can have a great time. That's what I have. I probably see you in a couple weeks. I may pull some other samplers out since it's Sampler September. In the next video, we'll take a look at those and maybe you give me some ideas on what you think I should stitch on. Otherwise, this is probably the longest video I've ever done, I think. Well, no, the Whip Parade videos are the longest, but I really hope you have a great day. Thank you for everything that you do to inspire me. Thank you for the love and the sweet comments that you leave. I truly appreciate it. And I just hope you have a great day. See you next time.